I think there's some interesting news when it comes to Onyx. And what is that? Not too long ago, Onyx posted on X and they were talking about how the Goliath white paper is now live. And they were kind of talking about basically how the gist of this, right, is that in this, they were kind of detailing what Goliath could mean for the future of XCN moving forward. At least that's the way I viewed it as. And some people may be thinking, okay, what is Goliath? Now, Goliath is allegedly this layer one blockchain that could hypothetically be, pretty interesting, I would assume, for the world of finance. Now, some people out there may be thinking, okay, why do we need another, blockchain? Like, it doesn't even make sense, man. We already have Stellar, which is pretty much like many people's like premier like thing when they think about, these type of blockchains that are focused on this space, like global chain finance, payments. And I'm totally aware of that, but it doesn't mean that Goliath can't hypothetically gain some attention too. And Onyx, it's not really doing too many things. So then, kind of like stuff like this, I think really does matter in terms of giving an update to the community because the way you take a look at it is that some other projects out there, they don't want to update, but this one does. And when I take a look at Goliath, some people may be thinking, okay, how can it, even be good? Now, I have no idea if it's ever going to be good because I still have to wait for the mainnet to hypothetically go live to see really what it even does. And even at that point, we have to wait and see for quite a while, right? The performance and whatnot, the adoption, who knows? And the mainnet is intended to launch allegedly in Q1 of next year, so in 2026, and the testnet allegedly sometime around Q3 of this year. So there's still a lot of like unanswered questions, at least personally for me. But then I'm still looking forward to it nonetheless because even though Onyx doesn't really have like the track record of like a Stellar and Ripple, in my opinion, these type of projects, they have to start somewhere, right? I mean, how do we know if we never try when it comes to stuff, like let's say trying to build, try to develop? This is just my mentality. When I was believing in XCN in the beginning, think about what was going on when it comes to Onyx. Nothing really. Like, I mean, there was nothing really positive to look forward to it. Many people just thought, oh, it's like a watered down version of Ripple and Stellar, which many people still do think that way. But then keep in mind, XCN had that pump. I'm totally aware of the pullback, by the way, but I'm just saying, at one point it had that pump, really without much going on for it. Like, there was really nothing to grasp onto. You know what I mean? It's not like people can say, hey, we're anticipating this, anticipating that. Not really when it comes to Onyx at that point. Again, it was pretty much just a project that is kind of, somewhat similar to Ripple and Stellar because they are focused on the same markets, but really nothing to latch onto. Now, arguably, there is more things going on when it comes to Onyx, but then the price isn't doing the best. So then hypothetically, if let's say, you know, the markets do really wake up, let's say the sentiment when it comes to altcoins hypothetically becomes good, and hypothetically maybe, let's say we do see a fully fledged type of altcoin season, now with the more things to kind of like believe in when it comes to Onyx, what would XCN do then if it was able to do that before without really much of a catalyst? This is just my perspective. Only time will tell, but I'm very excited. But let's say XCN were to go to the price of 25 cents during a peak of a hypothetical altcoin season. Would that surprise me? Well, not really, because the way you take a look at it is that if let's say it were to go to that price, even though nothing I say is financial advice, considering current circulating supply, market cap at that point would be around $8.5 billion, and that's around a 16x from here. So it doesn't feel like it's even too far off despite the pullback. I mean, if we're talking about 25 cents not too long ago when XCN was like doing very well, I mean, it's like way closer, right? So then if let's say XCN was able to do that again back then without really much of a catalyst, not only just for XCN, but for the altcoin space in general, really, I really can't wait for its future, but it's just a waiting game for me. All I gotta do is just stay patient, and that's pretty much it, because the markets, they're gonna wake up when they want to. I cannot demand XCN to do this or do that. I can't do that. There's only one thing I can control in all of this, and that's myself. So I'm gonna stick with it because in the beginning, I was dollar cost averaging when it comes to XCN, and then suddenly out of nowhere, it felt like it just had a rally. And then, now of course there's a pullback, but it could be said for a lot of altcoins out there, but I'm saying I was not able to know the exact time, right? Even though I believed in it. Now, XCN is having a pullback. Who knows when it will have that exact moment in time in which hypothetically it does recover and maybe let's say does better. It's an only time will tell type of situation. But in the beginning, I prepared myself through dollar cost averaging, and I'm still going to do that as of right now anyways. I treat this like a marathon, so anytime an income I'm acquiring, I'm holding, I'm just waiting, that's it. I am not telling anyone to acquire XCN and all this. I'm not saying that. All I'm talking about is my perspective on what I'm doing. What I'm doing, I think, is actually kind of simple in a sense. Some people kind of view it boring, but that is literally me just searching up projects and learning about the fundamentals. And if I like it, I just believe in it. I dollar cost average, I hold, and I just wait. Literally, that's it. It doesn't really, require any sort of technical capabilities or something like that on my part. I mean, it's literally just dollar cost averaging and just waiting. That's it. And the project that I do, of course, find interesting. Now, again, 25 cents, considering current circulating supply market cap around $8.5 billion. I mean, even XRP right now has a market cap that is well beyond $100 billion. This is just the way you take a look at it. I mean, we're not even in a fully fledged type of hypothetical altcoin season yet, allegedly, and XRP is already doing that. So then that market cap really wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And I'm still going to take a look at the updates when it comes to Onyx. But then beyond that, I'm just going to have to wait because what else can I do, right? That's the only thing I can do. Wait and just stay patient. That's it for the projects that I do believe in. And feel free to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, I would greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch you all in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.